This match is over. He's about to hit him with the big slam.
Again, thanks for your support, and we'll see you at the matches right here, OneWrestling.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Slam Nation. You can follow us on Twitter at Big Slam Nation. You know who I am. I am the Mark of the Masters, the Man of the Plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some wrestling today, and I am joined by the Enigma, Fame Black. You can follow him on Twitter, the Nature Boy, at Fame Black. And also, if you know him as You Got The Show on Twitter, you can follow him at You Got The Show. He is Mr. Old School himself, Bill Schuyler. Fellas, listen, first and foremost, I got to say, Billy Ray Valentine, your mom's not feeling well, so we are sending you our wholehearted best wishes. A-Track got to work, and the professor got some things he got to deal with, so it's us three today. And listen, guys, we're coming on a day where there's a hell of a lot of wrestling news out there, a lot going on, and we're going to kick this right off with Seth Rollins. Guys, Seth Rollins, I think, was on pace to probably having a chance at destroying the record of CM Punk holding that WWE title for more than a year. I think that's the way they were going with that. But due to an injury overseas, Seth Rollins is now out 6 to 9 months. Let me get your take on it, Fame.
I don't think that it was going to be. I don't think he was going to beat CM Punk's reign. I think the plan was for him to take it from Mania to Mania and drop it to either Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose. That's what the word is on the rumor mill. I'm upset about it personally. I love Seth Rollins. Anybody who's listened to me on any podcast knows that he's been my guy since the Shield broke up. He's always, I think he's the greatest wrestler in the world. This is very unfortunate, and I hope that it does. I mean, the biggest thing about this for me, I've said this on different podcasts, I love the build-up of Seth Rollins' face turn.
Okay.
And I wanted to see him take on Triple H, and I loved everything that stood for. That can't happen now. And people say, oh, don't ever say never, you can bring it back and all this shit, all this stuff. But no, to me, it lost a lot of its momentum because when Seth Rollins comes back after 6 to 9 months, he's going to get a pop, he's going to be cheered, he's going to be face. And that's going to ruin the turn from heel to face that I was looking so forward to.
All right, Fame, if you could just pull your mic away from your mouth a little bit. Excellent point. I want Bill Schuyler to kind of bounce off of that. Bill?
Yeah, I'll counter that. And first off, this injury is very similar to what happened to Sting in his build-up against Ric Flair back in the NWA days when, going into the Great American Bash, he went and climbed that cage and tore his patella, thus taking out his run for the title, which did take place 6 to 8 months later, and he was able to continue to get that pop through creative booking. Now, with this, yeah, he can come back bigger than ever. Look at Triple H when he came back from that quad injury. The fans didn't forget him. And I say that if he's still a villain now, he can still be a villain when he comes back from the injury, pop or no pop. He comes back, and all he's got to do is be booked the right way and come right back and be the same slimy villain that he was. And they could continue to then cultivate and make that turn. Right. I understand what you're saying as far as the timeline between now and WrestleMania. Yeah, you're not going to get that back because he's not coming back until after WrestleMania.
Right.
And the thing is, and it's a big if, it's if he is able to come back at the capacity that he is now. He didn't just tear one thing. He pretty much tore every single thing in that knee. It's a brutal injury, and that's going to be a very tough comeback.
Now, Bill,
professional wrestling.
I don't mean to interrupt you. If you could just pull the mic down about 1 inch from your mouth. Now, with that injury, if anyone has any. I mean, I had knee injury before, but like you said, he basically tore his entire knee apart. He's gonna be out after WrestleMania. But Fame, check this out, man. You're saying that you kind of lost the whole build to a face turn, and is it possible? Is there any possibility that perhaps Roman Reigns fills in that heel persona in the Authority, and then Seth Rollins comes back, rejoins the Authority, and then they kind of like brush him off and like, oh, you're old news, buddy. We got the real deal right here. We got the Rock's cousin, you know what I'm saying, as our WWE champion. You think that's a possibility? And do you think there was any chance he would lose the title at this Survivor Series?
No, I don't think there was any chance. I think he was going to take it straight Mania to Mania and drop it at Mania to Roman Reigns. And I like what you said. I like that storyline. I like the storyline of you're not as good as Triple H. Yes, I am. Way better. And everything that he's done to prove it. Now, beating Sting, wrestling John Cena in the same night, and beating Sting, becoming the first WWE champion with the U.S. title, that's, you know, all that stuff now, all that was little building blocks in this face turn to face Triple H, and now that's gone. So I'm not saying that it can't be awesome, but it won't be what I want.
Right. Well, then Bill Schuyler. If it's a fact, now do you have any additional information? Because I know you surf the net and you get on, you talk to people and you kind of find things out. I mean, do you know if there's any possibility that Seth Rollins may ever be the same again? Like how bad? I mean, I know we say that he tore his entire knee up, but how bad, and will that affect Seth Rollins and his style? You know, because now if he's going to turn babyface, he's going to go more towards the aerial maneuvers and the flippity flops and all that other stuff that they do in the ring that makes him so awesome. As I forgot what his other persona was back in Tyler Black, right? So again, my question to you is, Bill, will this guy ever be the same again? And was this his run?
I mean, I'll tell you what. You look at somebody like Chris Sabin,
right? Oh, yeah.
Okay, now Chris had both knees because he had his one knee tore out, got a little bit done, came back too soon, and then ripped the other knee out.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit of a different situation. But even though you'll still look at his ability.
By the way, that's TNA Fame Black. I know you don't watch TNA. So.
Listen,
hey, he's a Ring of Honor now.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. Oh. What?
Huh. I didn't know Fame Black was a. Oh, I thought you meant Fame Black was a Ring of Honor fan. Sorry, I got a little excited.
That's laughable. Not to say I mean, they would probably be number 2. I like them more than TNA, but to call me a fan is too much.
Okay, all right. But anyway, as you were saying, Bill, I'm sorry to interrupt your thought process.
Sabin's knees are a big thing to look at, but it's tough. I mean, just from sports. I mean, if you talk to any sports or PT guys,
right.
They're going to tell you that it's going to be a very the surgery is going to be nothing. It's surgery today, no big deal. It's the rehab time, and it's the ability for him to be able to continue to do what he could on that knee. And when that knee is so weak and bad, he's going to be putting all that extra weight and extra strength on the other knee. And that's to where you talk about the Sabin thing. You're hoping that he doesn't tear that one out. I think he can't be doing the flip, flop, and fly.
Right.
He's going to have to come up with a new style.
Okay.
And be able to do it. He's not going to be the man he was before.
Well, how does he do that, Fame?
I don't know. I mean, there's different ways to change your style. It doesn't always have to be so aerial. I mean, he's very aerial now, or was.
Right.
And it didn't really say like, oh, he jumps in the air a lot. That means he's face. Like that I never felt like that to me. I feel like he has the ability to do whatever he wants, but he does need to tone it down because I feel like that was Daniel Bryan's problem. Is that when he came back from injury, he came back and he worked the exact same style, the exact same way, and got the exact same injury.
Very good.
I just don't want to see that happen to Seth Rollins.
Excellent point. Listen, I don't want to talk too much more about the injury because it is what it is. Right now, it does affect what's happening at Survivor Series. Now, guys, I don't know if you know that out there, OneWrestling.com and YouTube /OneWrestling Video, but OneWrestling.com has a phenomenal partnership with WrestleZone Radio, and depending on when you're watching this video, today is the 7th of November. Well, we're recording on the 6th, but we're showing this on the 7th. Yesterday on the 6th, again, depending on when you're watching this video, I was actually on WrestleZone Radio with Nick Hausman and Bin Hamin, you dirty infidels, and we actually spoke about what the pros and cons of basically this match is. Or what the pros and cons of this injury. Now you're probably looking at me saying, "What do you mean, a pro? Well, what positive can come out of an injury?"
Lots
of positive. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and I want to talk a little bit about. I'm going to go to you, Bill Schuyler. Now, earlier today, like when I was recording, when I was on air live, apparently they caught me off guard because I thought it was supposed to be a recorded segment. It was live, but I basically stated. And I felt that I think Roman Reigns is the favorite. Now, they're going to hold the tournament for the championship, which actually makes me excited to see this, because I haven't seen anything like this since WrestleMania 4, when Macho Man, Randy Savage defeated 4 competitors to win the title. Go ahead, Fame.
Or 1998 when The Rock did it at the Deadly Games tournament.
That's true.
What's Survivor Series?
That's true. Well, we haven't seen it in well over a decade, safe to say. And, I mean, listen, man, Fame... and show, for me, as much as I love Seth Rollins, and again, love him or hate him, I said this at WrestleZone, he has been one of the best or hardest working champions WWE has had in many, many years. The guy, I have so much respect for him. Schuyler, what pros and cons do you see coming out of, let's start with the cons and then go into your pros.
All right, well, first don't cry.
Okay.
Don't cry. The man's coming back.
Hopefully.
He's too much of an athlete. They've invested too much in him not to give the best. I'll give you an example, and I think you could see it literally being like how Triple H did, where Triple H got hurt in the city he was hurt in. He went and had the doctor, the best doctor that could be, and instead of traveling and doing this and that, he stayed in that city with that doctor. They set him up at one of those condo type of apartment deals.
Right.
And he literally went from there to therapy every day. So he stayed there for that whole 9 months, 10 months. And they're going to do the same thing with Seth. I mean, he's going to have the best doctors working with him. He's going to come back. Now, again, like I said, he may not come back 100%, and he could shock everybody and come back better than ever. You never know. You wanted me to come up with the cons in this. The cons is that creative completely drops the ball and gives us some kind of half-assed friggin' Survivor Series and throws up, a champion, what you don't want to see.
You don't want to see Sheamus. You don't want to see Sheamus.
Everybody is against Sheamus. Well, y'all have to accept it. He's Money in the Bank. He's going to be champion.
Not necessarily.
At some point, he's either going to do that or he's going to get talked into putting that briefcase on the line.
That's what I feel is going to happen. All right, Fame, go ahead, man. You're itching.
That's regardless. We'll leave Sheamus alone because Sheamus is going to be in this tournament without a doubt.
He's in the tournament and he's got a backup plan. He could come. He could lose early on and come back at the end of the night. And take it away.
I just think it would be foolhardy to give the title right to Roman Reigns at the Survivor Series and not let him hit his title at Mania.
Mm.
What they need to do now through this tournament is to come up with a right opponent for him to go to war with between now and Mania.
Well, that's Brock Lesnar.
Woo.
That's a possibility, but
Roman Reigns against the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Go ahead, Fame. I'm sorry.
Dean Ambrose. That's who his opponent. That's who's going to be the final opponent.
All right, this is what I really feel. Honestly, I'm going to cut you off real quick, Bill Schuyler, because I got to get this thought out before I forget it, and then we can continue. But I honestly do think that what they're going to do is they're gonna have him face Dean Ambrose, whether as a heel. I don't know what it is. I have a feeling Roman Reigns is gonna be a heel. They're gonna flip the script. He's gonna join the Authority. He's gonna be a heel. He's gonna go into a prolonged storyline versus Dean Ambrose, who everybody thinks is gonna be a heel, but they're gonna flip it again and make him a face. And then that's gonna lead finally into the triple threat match at WrestleMania. But Seth Rollins is not going to be back at WrestleMania.
Hey, that's right. He's
Holy cow. So, I mean, do you think there's a... Wow. You know, I didn't realize the extent and the length of the injury.
I know I did this.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else come up with a 16-man roster for tonight to talk about?
Well, I don't want to... I mean, that'll take forever. I mean, do you have the list in front of you?
Did anybody else do that?
Well, I personally had a couple of NXT guys.
A couple of NXT. I got the whole roster plus some shockers.
Okay.
So I'm just telling you, I came prepared.
All right, and Fame. I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
Is there anybody that you would be interested in seeing in this tournament that people would believe? Like if you took a guy like Samoa Joe out of NXT and threw him in a tournament, I think it's believable that he might win. But if you took a guy like Prince Pretty, what's his name, and you Tyler Breeze.
That's because you hate Prince Pretty.
And I don't hate him.
And you like Samoa Joe too much.
And you
don't have enough WWE clout.
If you put Tyler Breeze in the world title tournament, you know he ain't gonna win.
Just like Samoa Joe, you know he ain't gonna win.
Not necessarily.
To me, those two are exactly the same.
Really?
Not to say those two superstars are exactly the same. And putting an NXT guy in a competition for the WWE title with all these ex-WWE champions and future WWE champions, whoever the guy is from NXT is not going to make it.
Fame obviously doesn't realize how much Triple H loves Samoa Joe.
He does. A lot.
That's why he's got the job. But, no, I'm just saying. I mean, I wanted to come up. I came up with a list. I just wanted to have it out there. Most of them are guys you're going to expect.
Give me your top 5 guys, and then just throw in 2 shockers.
My top 5 guys I put on here are everybody's. It's going to be Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler.
That will actually guys that you think can actually win the title.
Those are all viable options.
You think
so? These are viable options.
Okay. I'm sorry, because when you said Dolph Ziggler, I wanted to laugh because they're never going to give him the title again. But go ahead.
Why, he could take it and then Sheamus could take it from him?
True, but I don't think they're going to waste it. I don't know. Go ahead.
Anyway, look. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens, and the U.S. Champion Alberto Del Rio.
That's a phenomenal 5. Now give me 2 shockers. Give me 3 shockers.
My 3 shockers aren't currently with the company. That would be 1, Kurt Angle.
Wow, I wish.
AJ Styles.
Not going to happen.
And Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, believe it or not, is a very good possibility. Ben Hameen actually mentioned that today at WrestleZone Radio. And what's your take on that top 5, Fame? Is there anyone you wanted to see?
The top 5, those are all viable options. I feel like any of them could win the title. Even it could be believable. The only reason that I wouldn't put Bray Wyatt on there is because he's taking on the Undertaker, even though I think he deserves it more than anybody else.
Very well said. Seriously, very well said.
That's why I didn't put Bray on my list at all, because he's involved with this.
He's got other things to do.
Right.
But that's the only reason why he's not on this list to do well. I'm shocked that there's no New Day member on that list that he put on there. That would be my shocker. Big E or Xavier Woods coming in.
Could you imagine Xavier Woods with the trombone in the world title? That would be awesome. I mean, really, that would be just playing the Rocky theme.
I think you'll see. Big E will be on the. If they do a 16, Big E Langston will be on there.
Who's Big E Langston? Oh, you mean Big E?
I'm sorry. Big E Langston.
5.
Oh, I used to love that back in Florida. What was it? He used to FCW back then, right? NXT?
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. That was the theme song.
That was dope.
Now, look. I know you're telling me that Jeff Hardy's a possibility.
Right.
We know Jeff Hardy's a possibility. You shrugged off AJ Styles and Kurt Angle.
Because they signed with ROH. Not Kurt Angle, but I know AJ Styles is signed with ROH. He's going to be I think he's going to be the Ring of Honor champion.
He will be. But
now Kurt
I mean,
Kurt Angle has signed with Bellator. So, and I don't know what capacity. I don't know if it's in a fighting capacity or if it's in a
WWE could buy him. He doesn't want to be there.
But he just signed.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Did you learn nothing from Alberto?
Well, you know what? That's damn true, man. Like Kurt Angle says, that's damn true.
Damn true. But I'm just saying, Jeff Hardy, I think would be a big shocker to show up.
Huge.
I think because you're going to see the Hardy brothers are both going to be in. My other shocker, the one I wanted to put to you, was Bully Ray.
Huh. I don't think they're going to do that with him.
Look,
I love Bully Ray.
I've had enough of your anti-TNA rhetoric already.
No, it's not anti-TNA. Come on, man.
No. Don't call it that. It's definitely anti-TNA.
No, it's not anti-TNA. It's just that Bully Ray, number one, he's not in the shape he was in TNA. If he was TNA Bully Ray, I would say, yeah, it's a possibility. And if he came in as a singles wrestler, then I say, yeah, that's a viable.
I agree with that, too.
But he came in a little pudgy, and I can't talk because, I'm a little pudgy, too. Not as much as I was before.
I think they wanted him to come in at the weight that they wanted him to be Bubba Ray Dudley.
Well, he certainly is Bubba Ray Dudley. He's not Bully Ray. I wish he would have came in as Bully Ray. That's what I wanted to see because I thought he was one of the best heels in the business. But look, we have a bunch of cons, right? I mean, Seth Rollins obviously losing the title sucks. And not knowing, like, kind of having to write the entire pay-per-view over kind of sucks. But the positive, one of the positives, Bill and Fame, has to be the fact that we're getting something different. This is a legit Survivor Series. Like, the sole survivor of this tournament is going to be the new WWE champion. That's pretty awesome, don't you think?
How about this?
What's up?
What's everybody? There's only 3 of us here, so it won't take long. Real quick, 1, 2, 3. Who do you absolutely want to see that's a legit contender for the title?
Fame.
Brock Lesnar.
Ooh. Oh, I forgot about him.
Brock Lesnar's done with The Undertaker. And
forgot about Brock.
He wanted that belt back before The Undertaker robbed him of his moment. There's no real. It makes sense for him to come back for it.
Wow. I forgot about Brock, dude.
Yeah, that all makes sense to me. And then here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Roman having the belt. I don't want to see him turn heel, join with the Authority to win it at Survivor Series.
But he will.
Because I feel like I'm watching Deadly Games, Survivor Series, 1998. I see a Samoan go through his tournament because there's no champion, turn heel, and side with the Authority to win the belt.
I'm sorry, who's the Samoan?
Right. Roman Reigns.
No. They've never called him a Samoan yet.
Oh, please stop it.
Okay.
Please stop it. But,
don't be fooled by all the Samoan drops.
So Brock Lesnar, who's your number 2?
Oh, I don't have a number 2.
Just number 1.
Sheamus, and you would say maybe what?
Wait, I'm sorry. Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Sheamus.
Okay. I'm going to give you my 3, and then Bill Schuyler, you can take it from there. I'm definitely going to say my number 1 is Roman Reigns. All because this is the way I think they were originally going to book it. And if they were going to take the title of Seth Rollins, it was going to be Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns, number 1. Number 2, if Brock Lesnar, Fame, if he's actually in this thing, it will be him. But I'm gonna take him out of the equation.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea. It's a phenomenal idea. On your part, Brock Lesnar, that blew my mind. Number 2 is going to be Bill Apter because no one can get out of his figure 4 leg lock.
Dude, the drop kick.
No,
and then the figure 4, it's over.
The figure 4, it's over. No. Okay, so my number 1 is going to be Roman Reigns. My number 2 and my sleeper of this is going to be Kevin Owens. I can see him doing something. My number 3 is going to be I can't, like, I'm fighting myself right now, but I want to see somebody like is it a possibility that they might have I don't know, man. Who would my number 3? I don't want there to be too much dead air. So you know what? I'll just throw Roman Reigns.
I thought you were going to throw a shocker.
Oh, I haven't given a shocker. Oh, you want a shocker?
I thought you were going to throw it. You kind of had it built up that I thought you were going to throw
Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe will be my number 3.
Oh, so impossible. Got you.
Not impossible.
Oh, wow.
Not impossible. Listen, I all in all, because we're going really long on this segment. All in all, I think it's safe to say that this injury, although horrible, although tragic, although it sucks for Seth Rollins and for people that really enjoy good wrestling and a guy who's been a great champ, this is kind of a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Fame? I'm sorry.
Disagree.
Why?
I mean, I told you why. I had plans for Rollins to turn and how I wanted his title.
Okay,
reign.
but that's what you want. It's not going to happen. So why
Here's
is this?
what I want. I'm going to give you my 3.
What do you want? What's your 3?
All right, yeah, Bill, give me 3.
Sorry.
Your current U.S. champion, Alberto Del Rio.
Which is a good pick, possible. They gave him like $500 million. Allegedly. I'm kidding.
And then that way he comes back and you have a U.S. champion and a world champion yet again.
And I can't stand, really quickly, I cannot stand when people report things and they don't do their research because they had him being paid $1.4 million and it was bullcrap. Anyway, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. But it's Del Rio
and
Cesaro.
Okay.
And then my shocker returner would be the American Dragon.
Ooh, Daniel Bryan. We forgot about him too. Yes.
That is actually an excellent point. I forgot about him.
That is freaking phenomenal, actually.
Because he's reportedly good to go, but they haven't talked about him yet. He would be great, dude, and the crowd would go nuts.
It would be crazy.
As long as they don't have Sheamus kick him in the face and take it 5 seconds later.
Oh my God, I could see them doing that.
You mean 18 seconds later?
I can see them doing that. Could you imagine? Oh, you know, be even funny. Would be funnier if Daniel Bryan wins the title and then Sheamus comes in, cashes in, goes for the bro kick, and Daniel Bryan beats him in 18 seconds.
There you go. I would love it.
He goes for the bro kick, he misses, goes for that flying kick.
Yeah, man. Oh, that would be awesome. All right, guys, come on, let's move on.
So we covered that. We're good. And did we all agree? Would we all like to see a 16-man
tournament?
8.
8-man works, but 16 would be awesome.
But no, 16 altogether, but not in one night.
What do you mean, starting at Raw?
Yeah, to build it up, do the shows, and then to have the 8-man be.
They could do that. Sure, why not? And really quickly, if you had one guy that you could choose from NXT to bring up to be in that tournament, that would be a viable option. Now, you know my guy is Samoa Joe, but I talked about Finn Balor. I thought Finn Balor would be great to come in the first round, actually win a match against, like let's say they throw in a Chris Jericho the first round and have him beat Jericho. He'll lose in the second round, but he beats Chris Jericho in the first round. Just Chris Jericho, excuse me, I'm stuttering over my words, basically making him, getting his debut on a pay-per-view. I think that would be cool. But, I mean, who do you guys think? I'm going to ask Fame and then we'll go over to Bill Schuyler. Fame, who would your pick be or picks be from NXT, the roster?
I think the NXT storyline is what's convoluted. I mean, you're like, hey, Samoa Joe, this is totally a possibility. So that has to settle over there. He's not going to come and be champion while Finn Balor's like, that's not going to happen. He has to go compete for the NXT title. So I don't see Finn Balor coming up, nor do I see Samoa Joe coming up. And that's why. Because of the storyline.
Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin also is involved in all that.
Okay.
So when you have to pick an NXT guy, you have to pick an NXT guy that's not doing much. I don't have one at the moment because my man is no longer part of the NXT roster. And that'd be Tyler Breeze.
How about Sami Zayn?
If he's cleared, all this return from injury stuff is starting to bum me out.
Yeah.
He's another one. Yeah, Sammy's he's not NXT. He is on the main roster.
I mean, he never was officially promoted to main. He had a match on main roster.
Yeah, one match on Raw.
That's it, and then he got hurt, jumping up and doing this.
He's coming back. If he doesn't come back in this tournament, then he won't be back until the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
In my opinion,
I would like to see him yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, what about you? What about you, Sho?
All right, bro. We're talking.
Just give me two guys, two guys, or maybe
obviously
one.
You know. What was my bold prediction the day he would company? I said he would be world champion by the time he was 30 years old,
and that be
he would be the first black WWE World heavyweight champion of the world, Apollo Crews.
He did say that.
That's one of the records. So I would pick Apollo Crews and then former Impact Wrestling world champion, the Cowboy James Storm.
That would be interesting. So, guys,
Just
listen.
because James is not involved in anything yet.
He's right.
It's true. Those are two really great picks.
Those
I mean,
excellent.
neither of them I think would win the whole thing. But just like you said, just like you said, Big Ray, with going over like somebody big,
right,
and then losing in the second tournament, I can see a James Storm.
Awesome.
I can see an Apollo Crews doing that. That would be awesome.
Absolutely, and it'll help make their character important. Sure. Listen, guys. All in all, I mean, look, we spent 30 minutes talking about this segment. This is how important this injury has become. I mean, it was reported on ESPN by the coach. And again,
how awesome is that?
I love the whole ESPN thing with WWE. I personally, I love the fact that they're recognizing, and we all know WWE is sports entertainment, but to those people that are kind of like casual wrestling fans, dude, those are some of the best conditioned athletes on the face of the planet, and those guys kill each other, and they kill themselves 360 days out of the year probably. So I think it's pretty awesome that ESPN finally recognized, and some of their highest rated shows, speaking about Sports Center and everything, have been based on WWE reviews, so on and so forth. So pretty cool. But I want to move on to another topic, and this is actually kind of a fun segment to talk about, because we have Alundra Blaze, former WWF Women's Champion, and Paige in the Twitter Instagram war. You have Paige going at Alundra Blaze going at Paige, basically challenging each other to an actual match. Now I'm going to give you a quick scenario, guys, and I want you to kind of I want you to hear what I think may happen. And now, Fame. Yeah. Now, you said off air that you weren't too familiar with Alundra Blaze, but you do know about her dropping the WWF.
I saw her Hall of Fame speech, and I watched the promo package on that.
Right.
And the only thing I knew about Medusa before that was that she dropped the title in the trash can.
Right. And guys, don't get upset. I mean, Fame is in his early 20s. I mean, the guy hasn't been watching wrestling that long. Am I right, Fame?
26,
early 20s, dude. I'm like almost 40. Bill Schuyler's like 76,
20s.
right, Bill? How old are you, 70? 76?
Wow.
The oldest man in the room? That's all right.
Oldest man in the room, bada bing, bada boom.
I started watching wrestling in 1997.
Okay, wow. I had my first, I can't talk about that here, OneWrestling.com. Anyway, so check this out. Here's the deal.
Me too.
What would you guys say if WWE actually allowed Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa, to beat Paige, take the title, the Divas title, the next day on Raw, let's say it's after a pay-per-view, take the Divas title, raise it up, drop it into a trash can, and then pull out the new WWE Women's Championship and Women's Championship and state that the Divas Revolution is dead, women's wrestling is back. What's your opinion, Bill Schuyler?
150%. Love to see it. Can't wait to see it. And it's going to be, if they roll with it for real, massive WrestleMania moment for both women.
I think it would be. What about you, Fame?
No, listen, you had me all up until you said women's.
Why?
Divas is a brand. You have to brand it.
Okay.
If you search women's wrestling, that's not good for business because anything could come up. Any women wrestling anywhere could come up. Divas. It has to be divas. I like the fact that you trash that belt that looks like a 12-year-old girl's plaything. All right? You trash that belt. I like all of that, all up until you said women's. Everything else about it. And don't say the Divas Revolution is dead. The Divas Revolution is alive. It's renewed. It's revived because of Alundra Blaze.
His problem is he was never alive when there was a women's title.
See, that's the thing. Like when the WWE.
Yeah, I know I was.
No, but you were. But did you know how? All right, let me go back. Back in the day when let's say Trish Stratus.
It's not like that anymore.
Hold on, when Trish Stratus was the WWF Women's Champion, and her Titantron showed her face, and you heard that stupid little giggle, and she started walking down the aisle. People got off their seats, jumped up, and legitimately popped for this woman's champion.
Yeah.
Who's to say that pulling the Divas title taking that brand that hasn't really, what has it really done for the WWE except a really, for me in my opinion, a crummy TV show.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of money. I
It makes
get
a
your point.
lot of
Does it?
money. A lot of money.
Does it? Do you appease the people that really don't watch wrestling and that watch that show on E, or do you appease the hardcore wrestling fans that keep coming back? People from the ages of maybe 20 to about 45 to 50, 60 years old. Bill?
I think this separates the diva product as far as the television show,
Okay.
where those don't have to be the wrestlers anymore. Those women who aren't too hot in the ring as it is, they can actually just go right on into being part of the reality show, of being part of the universe, being talking heads for the product, but they don't have to be in the ring anymore, botching everything to death and making people embarrassed, Eva Marie, by their lack of talent.
Fame.
That's my opinion.
Fame.
I just disagree. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just coming from a younger time. Maybe I can adapt to this a little faster than everyone else. Like It's just one of those things. I love Eva Marie. I think she's she's got so much. It's not that she can wrestle. It's not that she can wrestle. She's beautiful.
True.
And she's interesting. If you watch her,
how?
Yo, have you seen an episode of Total Divas?
I've watched it from season 1. Absolutely, I think she sucks.
So you're saying you've seen every episode of Total Divas, and you're saying you don't.
I don't like her. I think
you watch the show.
I do, and I think Natty is a much more compelling.
Natty is a horrible weirdo.
No, she is not a weirdo. She's a sweet.
She's most definitely weird. She's sweet as hell. She's sweet. I do love her. She's weird.
I like Naomi. I like Cameron.
Don't like Naomi.
I think they're entertaining.
Don't like Cameron.
I just don't see what's so entertaining about Eva Marie, except that she has red hair and a hot body.
I mean, how did she get the red hair? She went against everything. Like, she got a job, and it was like, nah, I'm going to do whatever I want. That was bold.
Saw that episode.
Well, when they wanted her to be blonde, right? They wanted her to be blonde.
But Big Ray, yeah, exactly. She wanted her to be blonde. But when you say
the lady's eyes fell out of her head when she came walking in.
I do watch the show. Mm-hmm.
But it worked. It worked. But here's the thing. You're speaking from you're like, oh, this Divas title, this Divas Revolution isn't doing anything for anybody. Okay. But you're speaking as a hardcore wrestling fan.
Yes.
And a man.
Yes.
And an older person.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. The three demographics that it's not aimed at you. It's aimed at young people, women, and
who's spending the money?
Wrestling fan.
Who is spending the money? Is it
casual wrestling fan?
Really?
Yeah, man. Everybody hates every hardcore wrestling fan hates Nikki Bella. Why is she on top? Oh, she's banging John Cena. No, she's beautiful, and her gear, they love to look at her, and her gear sells, man.
Is that what they're calling it these years? Gear?
Gear?
Whatever. And
it is all artificial.
Whatever. When I show up when I see the middle school girls coming out, not that I'm hanging around or anything.
That's disgusting.
Oh, wow, that's creepy.
When they come out of school, because I live by the school.
Uh-huh. With your binoculars?
Not anymore. Let me make a call.
I'm already there, dude.
You're not supposed to be within 90 feet. No, they got. Oh, yeah. I see a bunch of Brie Bella gear. I see a bunch of Remo shirts. I see a bunch of Nikki. I couldn't believe that these girls. Okay. I'm like, how come when I was in middle school there wasn't as many girls into wrestling as there is right now?
Well, I mean, when I was in school, there were a bunch of. There was a wrestler by the name of Wendy Richter with Cyndi Lauper, and I remember a lot of girls rocking the Cyndi Lauper, Wendy Richter T-shirts when the real Divas Revolution started back in the '80s. But
Fame, I give it to Fame. I mean, he is right.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's a different world with the women's wrestling. The difference that we're seeing now is now that they're actually making they're actually having real wrestlers starting to come up.
Right.
And they're all going to be on the Divas show at one point. I mean, I agree with that. I'll tell you what. I mean, my biggest gripe about the Divas Championship always was the belt.
I don't like
the butterfly belt was just horrendous,
horrible, stupid.
So I could live with the Divas title just because everybody knows it.
Would you change the belt?
If the belt was changed to a real looking title belt.
Is there any way you can use the word divas and women's in the same breath, like the Divas Women's Championship or
that just sounds awkward. You John.
I know. I'm just trying to work here with you.
You don't have to keep referring to them as only divas, even though they probably will. You can switch it up. I mean, that's what they do in NXT. They say it's women's wrestling, it's divas wrestling. It's like just kind of if you keep throwing the words out there, you throw stuff on the wall, you'll see what'll stick. But
because obviously NXT, it's the women's title.
But you guys got to remember, like for the longest time, that nasty looking what's the word I'm looking for?
Belt.
Horrible tragedy of a belt, right behind you, Big Ray.
Which one?
Was the belt? Which one do you think I'm talking?
Which one? What's the TNA title?
No.
It's a beautiful title. Oh, you're talking about the spinner belt.
God, it was ugly.
The highest.
It's horrendous. It looks like a toy. I hate it. It's awful. It was the belt.
That's why it was huge.
It was the belt for how long? How long?
Very true. And it's actually the highest selling replica belt in the history of any organization. You're right.
Now, kids loved it.
Now you just got to look up to see if the Divas title sold more as a butterfly than the women's title.
And you know what? It probably
has. You
know what, Fame? I got to tell you something. You may have swayed me, but I think it would still be cool if they would maybe dump that ugly title into a trash can and have her bring something forth.
I mean, how many times have we?
Don't get me wrong. I want a women's title. If you're asking me for my vote, it's women's. Bottom line.
How many times are we gonna run this Alundra throws stuff in the trash shtick?
Well, I mean, it only happened back in What was it? 94.
And then she pulled it back out at Hall of Fame.
Right now,
and that's all you. That makes her a one-trick pony, son.
And how cool? No. You don't know her career. That woman.
But that's my point. Every time I see her, she's just throwing stuff in the trash.
Okay, but listen, that's all you see. I see a woman that wrestled in Japan, a woman that wrestled in WCW, NWA, AWA, all over the world, WWF. I mean, this woman legitimized women's wrestling back in the WWF.
Throwing stuff in the trash.
And she is in real life. She is as tough as any freaking body you will ever meet. I mean, ask Bill after.
Obviously, he's never seen Bull Nakano in her fight.
Oh my God, dude!
I'm not saying she's not tough. I'm well versed on it. I'm just saying, like, you a casual fan. Every time you see Alundra Blaze, all she do is throw stuff in the trash. That's really no different than Devon get the tables. That's really I'm saying that's just her one trick. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, like that's just her little thing.
All right,
just throw stuff in the trash.
I'm gonna end this segment here because I want to know what you guys think. Please leave your comments here below at OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo, or on Twitter at Big Slam Nation, at One Wrestling. You can tweet us directly. I want to move on to another segment, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, our top 5. Top 5. Now, Bill Schuyler, this is your segment. You're going to run down top 5 every week that we do a top 5, and we're not doing a top 5 every week because, again, Big Slam Nation here, what we do is we kind of change the script. We flip the script. As you noticed, last week we had Billy Ray Valentine, Professor. Now this week we have Fame Black. Maybe next week it'll be Bill After and A-Track Brown. I mean, we're going to try to have the whole team on every once in a while, but it's going to be flippity-floppity. Why do I keep using that stupid term? We're going to keep flipping and flopping the host and so on and so forth. But Bill Schuyler. Bill Schuyler has chosen the top 5, and we're going to kind of talk about it. So, Bill?
All right, this is my top 5 changes to improve pro wrestling today, especially the television product.
Okay, so these are top 5 things that would make wrestling better, basically.
Yes.
Right now. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Number 5.
All right. Number 5 would be the return of the television title and basically the push of its importance, meaning that it's more of an important belt than any other title because it's shown and wrestled for every week. And you take the world title, and that's saved for the big shows, the pay-per-views, the main events. We got used to in the Monday Night Wars, where all of a sudden every title was on the line every week.
Right.
Growing up, Ray, you and I know.
Once a month.
Not to cut you out. You didn't see a Hulk Hogan or a Ric Flair. These guys didn't wrestle for the world title. Now, you may have seen them on TV.
But I've seen both of those men wrestle on Monday night for the title.
But the titles weren't on the line.
No, we're talking about the
back in the day.
80s. We're talking about like the 80s, 70s.
Yeah.
They would basically cut promos for an entire month or build a feud, or you will have Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen beat up freaking Ronnie Garvin or something like that,
Right.
or beat up Sting and then fight like at a big venue.
Your TV title was to give the basically your sponsors, because that would give them a chance to have, like, they were supporting the television titles that started back in the 50s,
Right.
and so that would come on, and it would be probably like brought to you by Bosco,
Yeah.
and the television champion would come out and they would wrestle, and it would be a 15-minute or a 10-minute
Yeah.
length
Match.
fight,
Right. Yep.
and that was, everybody wanted to be the TV champ because you were on TV guaranteed every week in the main event.
What's your number 4?
So that's my number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4 would be the return of the Cruiserweight title.
Okay.
And number 3 would be more best of 5 or 7 series contests.
Okay.
And number 2 would be the return of time limit matches.
Ooh.
Remember when you used to have a ring announcer and a timekeeper?
Right.
And matches that went, it was a 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, whatever it was. And when it was over, it was over.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
Number 1 would be to give the referees their names back, personalities back, and their in-ring power back to where they actually are something besides furniture for the ring.
All right.
Because they absolutely have no power anymore.
All right,
They
Fame.
do nothing.
Fame, let me ask you a question. Is there anything that kind of sticks out to you in this list?
I would not bring back the Cruiserweight Championship.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. It limits. I feel like it set limits on the wrestlers competing, and I think that was Jericho, Mysterio, Guerrero, Malenko. All their problem with WCW in the first place is that they were stuck on the Cruiserweight division. They couldn't get out until, they moved.
But what about those smaller guys that will never contend for a championship? Oh, we can't say that anymore because nowadays you have guys like Rey Mysterio who won the World Heavyweight title. Smaller guys and other promotions like AJ Styles. What's this guy's name that does the fishing show at TNA?
Eric Young.
Eric Young that won the title, who's a smaller competitor, so on and so forth.
Daniel Bryan is
Daniel Bryan. Oh God, perfect.
And
He would've
Adrian
been a
Neville is cruiserweight.
Yeah, Bryan would have been a cruiserweight champion in WCW.
Right, and that's just not good enough.
Anything else stick out to you in this top 5?
I like best of 7s. I like best of 5s.
Why? I don't like best of 7s.
I was watching, like, my favorite was probably like the Benoit Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that was like during my era of watching wrestling. That was like 16 when it wasn't cool no more. And I'm like, yo, did you see Benoit last night, son?
Right.
So it was one of those. And what was that other time limits? I don't know. Bill, can you sell me on this? Can you explain to me why this would be a good thing?
Time out. Before you do, Bill, I just want to quickly make my opinion, and I want you to jump in that because I wanted to talk about that time limit thing.
All right.
The reason why I don't like best out of 5s is because I do like watching, and this is the whole problem. I mean, people love seeing Seth Rollins wrestle, but when you see Seth Rollins wrestle every single week, it gets boring. So me as a kid, this is just my preference. I did like, watching a match between Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. But if I saw Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat wrestle 4 out of 7 matches or 6 out of 7 matches or whatever the hell it is, I get bored with watching because how many different matches can you have?
But this is a best of 5 or a best of 7.
Right.
This is where you eliminate the tires, where it's boring now to have. Everybody has a ladder match. Everybody has a tables match or a hardcore match, whatever it might be. Best of 5 or best of 7 was one more step to the end of a feud. You didn't just pull that out in the beginning.
Right.
These guys had been feuding for maybe a year.
But then why? I'm sorry.
That's something else that you don't have anymore either. Is guys with feuds that build up and build up, and then you have your blow-off match finally, where usually would end in a cage, or this could be your blow-off match. And when this is done, it's a career ender. They're not going to do that so much anymore, but because they don't have a territory to go to. But it would be like a loser leaves town, whatever it might be. But when this is, whoever wins this best of 5, it's over, or they get the chance to move on to the world title match.
All right. I mean, I could see.
You get my gist.
No, I get your gist. I mean, I think max best out of 5. I would rather if they did bring that back, I wouldn't mind a best out of 3, and but I don't know.
It could be any of those.
Right.
Just the best of, just like because you get so many rematches on Raw anyway.
Right.
Might as well just be like, all right, listen, we're calling it. They're doing this again because they're trying to get the better percentage number.
Right. Right. Now discuss that time limit thing, because and I want to keep it short because we have one last segment to go. But the time limit thing, now really quickly, like I don't understand, because I did appreciate the 1 hour. I mean, I remember Howard Finkel, this match is scheduled for 1 fall for a 1 hour time limit, and after the 1 hour time limit, it was over. It was a draw. I used to hate that as a kid. I used to hate watching a whole match go for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. They had 2 hour time limits for certain matches, and then it would end in a draw. So how would that appeal to the wrestling fans today? Because Fame Black made a great argument as to why the Divas division would work over a women's division, and I don't, and he kind of swayed me a little bit. So I don't know how a time limit, bringing the time limits back would work in this world of casual wrestling fans.
Well, most casual fans aren't going to want to see a 60-minute match, even though a 60-minute match, like a Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat 60-minute match, was fantastic and are some of the best matches ever. But in this, well, it's not even an MTV generation anymore. I'm showing my age, but with
what channel is that?
Yeah,
Does it play music?
It's it's way up on the cable box, Chief.
But
Nobody watches it anymore.
Time limit matches on a 3-hour Raw can allow you to have more matches in that time period, and it also makes a match seem more important. Let's put it that way. It's all about image. So for you to say that, all right, it's a 10-minute, 15-minute match like that, and you got Dean Ambrose going up against Cesaro, and it's a 20-minute time limit on that. Now those guys are going to beat the snot out of each other. Now normally, do you get to see those guys wrestle for 20 minutes? No, normally they want to throw them on there for less. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that you're going to wrestle for 20 minutes. The guy can still get pinned in 3 minutes. But to the fan out there, they're thinking, wow, I might get a 20-minute match out of it. That's pretty cool.
Right.
They may not. Or if you want to build up that feud, and all of a sudden, these two guys go to the time limit. Damn, they went 20 minutes and tore it all out, and they couldn't beat each other. Now the feud continues to next week. And then you build it up. It's just different. It's an old school trick, and it's just something that's used to build up more importance to a match that's really not there. It's just an illusion. And
that's a really good point. But I want to go to Fame Black, a young man in his 20s that hasn't been watching wrestling, never really experienced the whole time limit era, let's say, of professional wrestling. And I want to end this segment with this. I mean, you're going, I don't know what you're talking about, but let's be real, dude. You started watching wrestling when, in the 90s? There were no 1 hour, 2 hour time limit matches, were there?
Pretty sure 1997. I mean, we're talking.
Not really.
Okay. All right, you're right. I never saw John Cena and Randy Orton go an hour in an Iron Man match.
But that's an Iron Man. Time out. I'm gonna stop you right now.
Oh, I never saw Shawn Michaels and John Cena go an hour on Raw. You're right.
Here's a funny thing. They call an hour-long match an Iron Man match. An hour-long match back in my day, or back in Bill Schuyler's day, was just a match. So, neither here nor there.
I mean, it's not that day anymore. Okay.
Well, that's that's why I'm turning to you. Does it work or does it not work?
I think it doesn't work. I mean, if you just saw two wrestlers all of a sudden just stop wrestling, it's like, well, wait, what? Why? And it doesn't. I see what you're saying. As a wrestling fan, when asked about it on podcasts like this,
right,
I would be like, oh yeah, I guess that does make the match more blah blah blah. But when I watch, I'm like, I ain't even in. I don't even have a winner. And they go into the next segment. WTF?
Right. What the front door? All right. So listen. Here's the deal. I think that was a compelling top 5. It's really cool because again we're at a place right now in professional wrestling where I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of see like a little change going on. Not just in WWE, TNA is trying to do their thing. ROH is doing their thing. We have Global Force Wrestling that is now coming into the sway. You have AAA Wrestling that's kind of changing. There, don't. It is what it is, Bill. You have AAA Wrestling that's doing their thing. New Japan Pro Wrestling who went to the whole Bullet Club thing over a year ago, where I don't know if factions were always a thing in with the NWO. They brought that back because I don't know if you know the NWO actually technically originated in Japan. I'm sure you know, but listen,
they just added another member. I think they're at 12 now.
Jesus.
Chase Owens.
Jesus, but listen, here's the deal. I want to know, again, what you guys think. So leave your comments here below. Please tweet us and hit us on private message. I'm in person, not private message, public message. Hit us. Why would you hit me private? Don't private message me for talking to me about wrestling. But listen, here's the deal. We're going to move on to our final segment. This is one of my very, very favorite segments. This is going to be a quick debate between Bill Schuyler and Fame Black. And this is the Tap Out segment. And the Tap Out segment, we are going to basically be debating whether Lord Steven Regal, William Regal, or whoever you want to call him, whether Steven Regal, or William, what is he now, William or Steven?
It's William Regal, sir.
William Regal. I keep calling him Lord Steven Regal, but I'm going to call him Steven Regal. Lord Steven Regal, or William Regal. I'll pay him respects. He changed his name. Is he worthy of the WWE Hall of Fame? Now, for fans that don't know, William Regal did suffer a neck injury, and there were rumors that he was supposed to have his last match at NXT and go out with a bang. Now Fame Black is against, I would say, Steven Regal maybe being a WWE Hall of Famer, and we're going to have Bill Schuyler give his idea as to why he should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Bill Schuyler, each person is going to have 1 minute and 20. No, let's just say 1 minute and 30 seconds to kick off why they should and should not be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm gonna I'll let Fame Black. Let's do age before beauty. Then it's Bill Schuyler. So that's Bill Schuyler. Why don't you go first? Bill Schuyler, you have 1 minute 30 seconds and go.
All right, William Regal is one of the greatest scientific wrestlers in our age. Not only could he be a scientific wrestler, but he could also brawl. He brought his style of wrestling all the way from England here into the States. He's wrestled all over the world. He's held titles everywhere. WCW, he was the television champion 4 times. WWE, the European champion 4 times. He was tag team champions for WWE 4 times. Hardcore champion 5 times. Intercontinental 2 times. And the King of the Ring. So they have a total of 15 WWE championships. That there alone, my friend, should solidify him for the Hall of Fame. Not only that, he had to suffer the indignities of joining Vincent McMahon's Kiss My Ass Club and was able to survive that. And also, worse than that, his original gimmick by Vince Russo
30 seconds.
For Real Man.
He's a man. Such a man. Sorry.
He survived that and made it, and would have been world champion if not for a substance abuse issue that he had. He was garnered. He was set. It was all ready to go, except literally to hand him the belt, and he had to go into rehab.
All right. Is that it, Bill? You got 5 seconds spare. All right. Very cool.
I'm comfortable.
Fame Black. Well, it's your turn, my friend. Why is Lord Steven Regal, a.k.a. William Regal, not a WWE Hall of Fame? Your time starts right now. Go.
All right, first of all, when you're talking about WWE title reigns and you say he was hardcore champion 5 times, I guess you just got to count that as like 1 or 0, really. So that's not as many titles as you think it is. Secondly, yeah, you named a bunch of titles, none of them which being the big one, and they're saying, oh, he was going to get it. That's something they say about everybody. Oh, at a certain point in time, it was written for him to get it, whatever, whatever. And I believe you as far as the King of the Ring, but when you're that close and you choke, you don't deserve any credit for that. The only thing I really know him for, kissing Vince McMahon's ass, literally, being the first one to do it. That might get him in the Hall of Fame right there. That don't mean you deserve it. Being a good wrestler, which he is, it's not enough to get you in the Hall of Fame. You have to have a lasting impression on people. And if you're like, oh, all the stuff he did in other places and all the stuff before WWE, that was what? He came in 1998 with that real man nonsense? Please. Listen, what I know him from as William Regal and the time that I've known him as of recently,
30 seconds.
You got kissing the butt, you got Commissioner drinking Jericho's pee, and you got being Booker T, King Booker's lackey until he wasn't. Like, that's all I got out of William Regal. Oh, and taken after the retard Eugene. Like that. Yeah. Oh, a big Hall of Fame career there. What you had when you had the King Regal.
10 seconds.
He won the King of the Ring after it stopped being relevant. So I mean, it's not for him.
3.
Maybe one day, not today, not the one.
Wow, that was right on the money. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 compelling arguments as to why William Regal should not and should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm not going to give my opinion. I'm not going to be the tiebreaker. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we want this to be...
All I got to say about Sunshine.
Oh, stop, Sunshine.
Okay, Sunshine. If I want my spot in the Hall of Fame, then I'll have it. If not, then I'll just gladly meet you in the ring, anywhere, anytime.
That's actually creepy.
I wish Regal would learn how to say words like umaga instead of umanga.
It's Umanga.
Umanga.
That was awesome. Umanga.
It's not even his name. It's Umaga.
Listen, guys.
Speak English.
I gotta be honest with you. This was actually a really fun show, guys. Unfortunate for Seth Rollins. Listen, guys. When you have the opportunity, guys, I want you to look up my good buddy Rob Kimball. He actually has an amazing website. I have it here. I'm gonna actually post up some cool pictures. He's actually working right now with with Christopher Daniels. He actually designed 4 t-shirts for Christopher Daniels. Go to robinkimballbrand.wix.com/Sons of Wrestling. I'm going to actually put the 2 links down below for the actual shop and for his personal website. Now we have Bill Schuyler there with a Big Slam Nation t-shirt. OneWrestling.com. Wow, that scared the hell out of me. OneWrestling.com t-shirts, all wrestling t-shirts. Rob Kimball, guys. Again, I'm going to post the 2 links down below, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Fame Black, for coming on. Thank you, Bill Schuyler, for coming on here in this episode number 3 of Big Slam Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, again, I was on WrestleZone Radio. I want you guys to please listen to that podcast. Subscribe to them. They are our wrestling tag team partners. WrestleZone.com. The WrestleZone Daily with Nick Hausman and the infidel Bin Hameen, who's actually going to be coming on this show, and he's also going to be doing a PW Hustle. Big shout out to our boys Billy Ray Valentine. Follow him on Twitter at Billy Ray Hustle. The Professor Quintana, you can follow him on Twitter at ROFPW Hustle. And don't forget A-Track Brown, you can follow him on Twitter at Pharaoh of Fancy. Follow Fame Black at Fame Black. Bill Schuyler at You Got the Show. And of course, the legendary Bill After at After One Wrestling. You can also find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, Big Slam Nation, Facebook. Oh my God. I mean, you can find us anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all over the place. Don't forget to follow me at Big Ray Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this every single week. I would do this for a living, but if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. And guys, in the words of the legendary Bill After, we'll see you at the matches. Peace, guys. Thank you for joining us for this week.